I often get asked a lot about what got me into witchcraft and where I am now. And I don't think I've ever really shared everything on here. And since I have some time, I figured I would do it. I will preference this by saying I am a daughter of Lilith, a devotee of Hecate, Morgan, Aphrodite. Those are the deities that I have worked with on my journey. But as far as the craft goes, I started with my gifts as early as 6, 7 years old. I later found out that it's in my blood. My great aunt, who is still alive, is the witch of the family. And an old Italian, I don't know if it would say legend, but an old Italian thing, I can't think of the proper word right now, it's when a baby is born with a veil over them, they are said to be gifted, which I was. So it skipped my grandmother and my mother. Although I do believe my mom had gifts, but because she chose religion, that hindered her ever exploring it. I think she feared anything that she did or does have. And religious trauma and pretty much deconstructing religion was a major part of me really tapping into my gifts and becoming the witch that I am now. But witchcraft has always been a part of my life. I was just encouraged, condemned by my mother for many, many years to not do it. And what do you think happens when you tell a child not to do something, especially something that their soul is crying out to do, and all these gifts that I was being presented with? Of course I dabbled, but I had to keep it on the low. So I'll save all that for another segment, if you will. But there was a period of my life where I surrendered to what my mother wanted for me, and I dove deep into Christianity. I mean, I was going through some horrible things in my marriage, and I downloaded the Bible app. I only listened to K-Love Christian radio. I had a devotional every single morning. I prayed to God consistently. I was very rooted in my faith for a year or two. But it felt forced, and it felt fake, and it felt like I was going against everything that my body, mind, soul was about. So there was two major things that propelled me deeper into the craft and completely going full force. That was my mom getting sick with mental illness in 2020, and about a couple months after that, me walking away from my marriage. I will also stand firm in this belief and knowing that my mom getting sick allowed me to fully turn on everything that was suppressed, because she no longer was a influence in my life. And it didn't start off as me looking for something to believe in or wanting to work with deities to fill a void of something to fix me. It was always there, and the deities showed up all on their own. I started off my big awakening, if you will, with putting myself first. Okay, the Empress card is the first thing I can think of when it comes to what I was embodying. And I started by taking walks every single morning, first thing in the morning, and meditating or manifesting during those walks. And the downloads just flooded in from that point. And I did that rain, shine, inclement, freezing cold weather, whatever. I made sure that that time in the morning was my sacred me time. And one thing that really was calling out to me was getting back into tarot. That was something that all my life when I dabbled, I was really called to, good at, but I never did it exclusively because of all the religious suppression. So about a year into my journey, I got a deck and really connected with it, and the proof was in the pudding. I would go places, I would give readings to random people after we would discuss things, or they would just be drawn to me. Somehow it would come up, spirit would align these things in my path for me to start showcasing what I was meant to be doing. And prior to that, every morning on my walks, these crows would follow me. And I would tell my sister and my best friend, they're following me. And they'd be like, okay. And I'd be like, no, for real. So I started filming it. And then they started to believe me. But not just on my walks. They would be wherever I would go. Parking lots, families' houses. It became clear, crystal clear. And in the very beginning, when I started to look up things, the Morgan started to present herself to me, which she is a goddess of war and so many other things. But she helped me and stood in the gap with me while I waged war on the things that had to be eliminated from my life in order for me to continue on this path. She helped me where I was weak, and she helped me really win the battle of everything that I had been battling for years. And I started at night going live on here in 2021, putting myself out there and doing readings. And when I was doing readings, sometimes I'd be channeling people's past loved ones. I would just get confirmation after confirmation that this is what I was really meant to be doing. And by about 2022, Hecate really started making herself known, because I was presented with a lot of things that were being unearthed in shadow work, where I was at the crossroads, and her being the keeper of keys, and she just really helped me navigate all those monumental things that were coming up and helped guide me to where I needed to be. Now, I have always known of Mother Lilith, especially because of the religion that I was involved in. And I used to always be drawn to the phrase, be a Lilith, not an Eve. And even at the time, many, many years ago, and my little knowledge of her, I was always drawn to that, and it made me really battle with my beliefs in Christianity. So when I finally called her in, I just felt such a different feeling than when I had been working with religion itself. And especially in these last 6 months, working very closely with her specifically, she has helped me and done amazing things for me. Of course, not in a very gentle, soft manner, but nonetheless, she came in and helped me get done what needed to get done. And throughout this whole process, other things were revealed to me by working with these deities, between manifestation and my oils and my candles and my readings and my services that I provide and confirmation. I always divinate and go to my deities and make sure before I do anything, I really sit with things that I either need to heal or I need to learn more about before I make that jump. But it has been such an eye-opening and beautiful experience, and I have grown several times in the last 6 years, really diving deep in this journey and embracing all that is my gifts and deity work and my craft. So for me, it was always there, but I had to go through many things, many traumatic things, many deep things in order to become this version of me where the craft is my life. It is who I am, it's who I've always been, and it has helped me in so many wonderful ways. So whether you're just starting your journey or you've been on it, just really embrace and be open to so many different options and enjoy the journey, because it's forever changing, forever growing, and it's something I'm so grateful to be a part of. So I hope that kind of summed it up. If there's anything else you want to know, drop it in the comments. I'd be glad to answer it.